Hi everybody, thanks for watching. So recently DJI released a firmware upgrade for the Mavic Pro. And in that firmware upgrade includes a new intelligent flight mode called Quickshots. Now the first time we saw Quickshots was when they released it with the Spark. And it's actually a pretty cool intelligent flight mode. And now I'm glad that we have it with the Mavic Pro. So I went out and tried it the other day and it's actually pretty cool. But there is one issue that I want to tell you guys about. It's not that big of an issue, but it's something I think you should be aware of. Now, Quickshot's Intelligent Flight Mode is actually 3 intelligent flight modes packed into one. And they're all kind of cool in their own little way. You have Dronie, Helix, and Rocket. And just like a lot of the other intelligent flight modes on the Mavic Pro, they allow you to easily get cinematic footage. Now, when I first upgraded the firmware on my Mavic Pro and I tried to run the Quickshot's Intelligent Flight Mode, it actually didn't show up. And the reason for that is I needed to also upgrade my DJI Go 4 app. So I have an Android phone, I went to the Play Store, I did DJI Go 4 search, I found it, but it actually was the same version that I already had. So what I found out is I actually had to go to APK Mirror. If you don't know what APK Mirror is, go ahead and Google it, read about it, educate yourself about it. Because a lot of the updates that come out for the Mavic Pro and other drones are actually released on APK Mirror before they're released on the Play Store. So it's actually happened to me before, but I couldn't figure it out. This time I did figure it out. I had to go to APK Mirror, upgrade my DJI Go 4 app. As soon as I did that, then the Quickshot's Intelligent Flight Mode showed up on my Mavic Pro. So what I did today, I went over to one of my favorite parks in our community. It's called the Scandinavian Heritage Park. Now the reason I went there is because in a couple of days, we're going to have the Norsk Husfest, which is actually North America's largest Scandinavian festival. So in a couple days there's going to be about 50 or 60,000 people here in our community celebrating this great event. And the Scandinavian Heritage Park is one of the places that these people come to see when they come here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to try out this new Quickshot's Intelligent Flight Mode on the Galstad Church, which is at the Scandinavian Heritage Park, because it's a really cool subject to film. Now it was pretty chilly, it was pretty windy, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway. So when you run the Quickshots mission, basically it's just like all the other intelligent flight modes on the Mavic Pro. You fly into position where you want to start from, and then you click on Quickshots, and then you choose one of the 3 modes. So the first mode that I tried was the Dronie mode. What you do is you highlight the subject, so I highlighted the church. Once it locks on, you can click on Go, and it counts down from 3, and then it runs the mission. For the Dronie mode, basically all it does is it flies backwards and progressively increases in altitude. And once it reaches at the end of its mission, it returns back to the start position. The second mode that I tried was the Helix mode. Now the Helix mode is one that I was really interested to try because I was actually at this church last winter for my point of interest tutorial. And the thing that I like is that it doesn't simply go in a circle. What it does, it increases in altitude as it goes around in a circle. So basically it's like a spiral. And personally I think that's one of the most cinematic shots that you can get with your drone. So I was excited to run this mode. So what I did is I highlighted the church once again, I chose Helix, and I hit Go. Now it did work for a little bit, but what happened eventually is the Mavic was not able to keep locked on to the subject. And I tried it several times and I just couldn't figure out why it would not stay locked on the church. So I finally gave up on the Helix mode and I wanted to run the Rocket mode. So I highlighted the church, I put it into Rocket mode, I hit Go, and it ran that one perfectly. By this time it had started to rain, so I had to put my Mavic down. I was not able to try the Helix mode again. So a couple hours later I got home and I decided, you know what, I want to try this again. I want to figure out what's wrong. So what I did is I put my Mavic up. It was still pretty windy, it was still pretty cold, but I wanted to figure this out. So I just chose a tree near my home as a subject. Once again, I highlighted the tree, I clicked on Dronie, and it worked just great. Now the other thing that I figured out when I did this the second time is that you can adjust the distance of the mission. So you can adjust the distance, you can change how far it goes when it runs the Quickshots mission. Once again, the second mode that I chose was the Helix mode. Now I highlighted the tree, hit Go, and it ran for just a little bit, but what happened is it actually just jumped off track. It did not stay locked onto the tree. So I put it back into position, I highlighted the tree again, and it jumped off of there again. Now by this time I was getting pretty frustrated, but what I suddenly realized is that in order for the Helix mode to run on the Quickshot's Intelligent Flight Mode is there needs to be a significant amount of contrast between your subject and the background. The problem for this situation is that the green grass and the green trees just look too much like each other, and the Mavic Pro could not lock onto that tree. You know, it worked fine for the Dronie mode and it worked fine for the Rocket mode. The problem is in Helix mode, when the Mavic moves in a circle, it has a real hard time keeping track of that subject if there's not enough contrast between the background and the subject. So once I figured out that's what the problem was, I just flew my Mavic over to these couple of cars here and I chose this one vehicle as my subject. First I ran the Dronie mode and it worked just great. And secondly, I ran the Helix mode, locked on, counted down from 3, and it worked just perfectly. So I think that was the problem when I tried to film the church, is because the church was just too big. My subject was too big, I was too close to it, and so there was not enough contrast around it so that the Mavic could stay locked onto it. So this is kind of the same problem I had when I did the active track. You know, when I was first learning how to fly my Mavic, I did the active tracking tutorial. And I think a lot of the problem was the contrast was not different enough between my subject and the background, and the Mavic kept losing connection. So when you're using the new Quickshot Intelligent Flight Mode, especially in Helix mode, there really needs to be a significant amount of contrast between the background and your subject. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to stay locked on. So just keep that in mind when you're running Helix. As for the Dronie mode and the rocket mode, the Mavic has no trouble staying locked onto its subject. Okay, 2 quick things that I forgot to mention, and they're both pretty cool. First of all, when you run the Quickshots mode, it actually starts recording for you, which is really good for me because I don't know how many shots I have lost because I forgot to hit the record button. So it actually records for you and it stops recording for you. Second thing is, when the mission is completed, the Mavic will actually return to the starting position, which is also very convenient because you can run different missions starting from the exact same point. So I apologize for forgetting to mention those 2 very important and very cool aspects of the Quickshots. Alright, so that's all I have on the Quickshot Intelligent Flight Mode for the Mavic Pro. I'm probably going to use it quite a bit, but like I said, I'm going to make sure that there's enough contrast between the background and my subject so it stays locked on. If you have any questions about this video or anything at all on the Mavic Pro, go ahead and put those in the comments below and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. If you liked this video and you learned anything or you got anything out of it, please consider clicking on that thumbs up, that like button. That really helps out this channel. Also, if you want to share this video with your friends or on social media or anyone that owns a Mavic Pro, that also really helps out this channel. If you're just passing by, checking out this video and you're not a subscriber to this channel, please also consider clicking on the subscribe button. My channel continues to grow exponentially and I love it so much, and I love visiting with you guys. I love meeting new people. I love talking about the Mavic Pro and everything there is to know about it. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please click on that subscribe button. I want to thank you guys sincerely for watching so much, and as always, fly safe and fly smart.